You're 41 and unmarried.
Right?
You're freezing eggs.
By choice.
Yeah, that's no.
Well, no, I can say that. I was once engaged when I was in college. Okay.
No.
I just got
See, this is what I mean. The engagement queens, you can't make this shit up.
No, I'm not. Listen, wait,
stop. Don't over talk.
Wait, hold on. What's your relationship?
Okay, so I'm single. Single. I was in a relationship. I've been single for about a year. Okay. And I love that I'm single right now because I think that women have to realize that, listen, you can be happy single. Like there's some men who are so happy single. This is why they don't want to get in relationships. And I think that when you focus on just always your relationship status determines your happiness, you're not going to be happy. Mm-hmm. So, what people got to understand, like I just said, I just moved to LA 2 years ago. So I'm a girl that for my career, every 4 years, I pretty much moved. I think I'm home now. I think.
She loves LA.
Yeah, I love LA, here. But Dubai loves it. Dubai look like it's my kind of place.
I just saw Lindsay Lohan said she lives in Dubai.
I wonder what she's doing over there.
She said, well, she's married and she said they can't take pictures of you. Like when you're in the restaurant, it's illegal to take pictures of people. You have to ask them for permission.
I've been over there.
That's what she was just saying.
I'm on Instagram.
Morning
I'm
show
taking
or
photos.
something.
I was there.
Okay, so wait a minute. You are single. Do you feel like people weaponize that a lot? Because for me, I feel like, well, why are you single then? Or why are you da-da-da? And it's like, maybe because I like my peace and I understand who I am as a woman and I prefer my solitude. And if you're going to take some of that space, you must be a hell of a person. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, that's how I thought when I was single, Right. So do you feel like people are like, why are you single if you have this show and da-da-da-da-da?
They weaponize women.
Yes, women.
They don't weaponize men.
Yeah.
Like I said, if I was a man, men would encourage me not to get married. They will say, yes, you work this hard, you focus on your career, you invested I've invested my own money into my company. They'll be like, why would you let a woman benefit off of all your hard work? Yeah. What happens is we're in a time where I do believe that there's some men that only respect a woman by the man she's next to, right? So and there is
So let me pause there, okay? Okay. Kendra is good at what she does. Okay. She is a journalist to a T. Okay. She knows how to spin an interview and not have to give up much information. As you guys can see, and we're going to keep going. The question comes up of, are you single? She's single. She goes into why she doesn't go into why. She just says, I'm happy I'm single. And she goes into why people should be single and happy and all of that. Then she goes into, she asks her about, what did she just ask her? Oh, do people weaponize, her being single? She goes into, they weaponize, like, yes, but they don't do it to men. Like she's pulling so far away of having to really have Paul Pierce dive, because that he's the one who, like, I'm sure she saw what he did to Cheyenne Bryant, but Cheyenne Bryant don't have the journalism background like Kendra does, like the interviewing, you know what I'm saying? Her being in radio and her doing all of this, she is finding her way to pull her, don't want to talk about my life, my love life, my singleness too much, because I don't want to have to get into all of that. And she is doing her thing with figuring out a way to answer the question, but still go back into giving all of her relationship advice mumbo jumbo. Okay. But let's keep going.
Yeah.
That's
what it's about. So it's like, who's the man I got to answer to if I mess with you? And if there's not a man standing there, well, why not? And there's also some type of, I don't want to say control, but there are some men who like to know, like, okay, I have my wife. There's a control aspect. So they're also like, well, why aren't you married? Like, could you not follow instructions? Did you not forgive too easy? I will say this. There's women who are married to men in jail. And if you feel like she is a better If you feel like because she's married and has a husband, you can take her advice. Like, I'm not the kind of person that's like, you have to live by what I live by. I'm telling you what I know, right? At the end of the day. And there's married people who I would not take advice from. And we have to stop this illusion that marriage is this sun and roses and everybody's happy. You know, I have a therapist who literally told me that a lot of her clientels are wives who are trying to make it through their marriage because they're not happy.
Woo! Okay, so let's talk about something, right? Let's discuss that right there. That's the piece that is anytime we talk about anytime marriage comes up, right? There's going to be some way to talk about the negative side of marriage. And why I have a therapist who told me half of her clients, why is she telling you that? Why is your therapist telling you about what the other women are going through? Right? Why is she telling you about how terrible marriage is or how much these women are struggling? This is what I'm talking about when I say that whenever marriage is no longer an option, right? Then you have to find a way to demonize it when it's not something that you have or you don't believe is going to happen for you. And only you know that. Only you know that. The other piece of it, to say we have to stop glamorizing or making it seem as though it's sunshine and rainbows. Who's glamorizing it, right? No one's saying marriage is perfect. I don't know. I mean, if somebody out there saying that, shame on them. But most people are not sitting here saying, most married people are not saying marriage is so perfect and it's so easy and it's so, you're just going to have the time of your life. You're never going to be unhappy. You're going to just be smiling all day long. No one's really out here saying that. So I hate when, again, women who are not married, claiming that they don't want marriage, always find a way to try to make it seem as though married people are trying to make it seem like everybody is so miserable without marriage. No, that's not what I think most married people are saying. What married people are saying or trying to say is working together with a partner can make your life easier than to do it by yourself. I think is what most people try to say. It's not perfect. It is not always easy, but working together, having to carry the load is much easier than doing it by yourself. But again, every single time, they always have to find a way to demonize and weaponize marriage. Always.
Not saying this is every wife, okay? But I think that most women want the wedding day. They want the ring. They want the bragging rights. They want the Instagram post. But do they really want the wife job description? Now, the wife job description, I believe in it so much. That's why I won't do it. I was engaged. And
let's pause there, please. Did y'all hear that? The wife description she says she believes in the wife description so much that that's why she won't do it. Let me rewind that piece, that little piece. She believes in the wife description so much that's why she won't do it.
Have to stop this illusion. $7 an hour. Now the wife job description, I believe in it so much. That's why I won't do it. I was engaged. And that's what, before all this, very early in my career, I was engaged. I was in my 20s for my college sweetheart. And the one thing we decided is we would never get divorced. And I really think people should make that decision before you get married, because it's like, listen, if we do this, it's me and you till we see Jesus. And there wasn't an infidelity. I realized we had different life plans. And most women usually just kind of follow the man. Nothing wrong with that, right? And at that time, it would have made sense. He was an electrical engineer. I'm a radio host making $7 an hour. I'm gonna probably be fired in I would you get fired all the time in radio. I have no job security. So girl, you got this man, tall, dark, handsome, marry him, have babies, and run off to the sunset. And I couldn't make that bet because I had so much inside of me. I had to take a risk on becoming who Kendra could become.
Let's stop there. Okay. This idea that you can't be who you want to be, whatever that means, because you have a husband, is the most ridiculous thing ever. When women say, she said, I had to go out and be who I wanted to be and be who Kendra really wanted to be. What does that even mean? Where has life panned out for you that you could not have done or have been doing all that you have done with the husband? What about your lifestyle? Someone like a Kendra G or other women, like her. What about your lifestyle that you live that says I couldn't have done this with a husband by my side? Who says that other than someone who knows marriage is no longer an option for them, or who believes that it's not an option, or who has given up on the option? Again, what could you have done? What would he have stopped? You couldn't sleep around? You couldn't be in different men's faces? That's what I want us as women to recognize. When we say stuff like that, when you claim to act like a husband's going to stop you from living your life, you need to assess, what does living your life mean as a single woman that you can't do as a married woman? Like, he's going to tell you, no, don't go to work. No, don't chase your dreams. Like, get with a man who's okay with the working woman, which most men are. You work and you got your dreams, you got your career. My husband supports me creating and building my channel 100%. 100%. If I didn't have a husband, it's just foolish that this is the rhetoric that they say to try to make it make sense as to why you're not married and why you decided, like, we were going in two different paths. What path? What couldn't you do?
And that's 20 years ago. And as I say, I always tell my age because I want people to know my life is a journey. I'm 46 years old. If I would know that you make that deal and you decide to go for your career, and at 46, you still wouldn't be married, you still wouldn't have kids, would you make that same bet? Absolutely.
You would. Yeah.
Because
bye, Kendra. Bye, Kendra. Bye, Kendra. Bye. No, ma'am. I don't buy it. I do not buy that you calling off or breaking off the engagement or relationship, and 20 years later, you would do it again to not be married, not have kids, all so you can have your own YouTube, your own app. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me that you would have done it all over again and chose the same life to have your own dating app and be able to change your wigs every day? That's the life that you want to. That's the life that you would have rather chosen if you could do it again. We are so foolish, y'all. We are so full. She's freezing her eggs? No way. Well, that's what they all do. They all do that, but these are the same women who don't want kids. Who don't want kids. She wouldn't do it. Are you kidding me? This is crazy. To even sit here and pretend like
I had to choose myself. Yeah. Like, I don't want to be married and just say I'm married. If I'm married, it's because this is what God's purpose is for me. And I'm riding out with you to the sunset. And I know you're going to mess up, but I'm here.
It's always the I had to choose me women. Again, you chose you. I don't, again, she said it wasn't infidelity. We were just going on two different life paths. You had to choose you this is again, this is in my opinion, this is just my opinion. This verbiage is so dangerous because they're so selfish, they're so inconsiderate. So choosing you, very much so. What I don't believe is, I do not believe that if she could go back in time, would she do it again and not have kids and not be married? Especially if y'all say she's freezing her eggs. Especially if y'all say she's freezing her eggs. This is crazy, y'all. Crazy.
Coretta Scott King in it.
Yeah.
And if I can't Coretta Scott King it, then I'm not gonna do it. You just should.
Yeah.
I love that.
Is there somebody you're dating right now?
Yes, Paul. I am dating.
Dating? Is it more than one?
I am dating. I don't have sex when I date though.
Mm-hmm.
So let me tell you about dating. This is why I have a dating app, and I encourage every woman to date. I think what happens is women don't know how to date. Like men really kind of have, are you cool? Can I sit with you and have a conversation, watch a game and eat some burgers? All right, let's kick it. Women, they're prerequisites for dating. And this is why women are having so many.
Do y'all see what I'm talking about? Y'all see Paul asked her a question. She answered it. And then she said, yes, I'm dating Paul. And she went straight into selling her app. She went straight into giving her one-on-one dating advice. She went straight, y'all. She literally, she don't want to give up much about herself unless she's giving it up. She just offered up that she was engaged and all of that, and she got to tell her little story and how she chose herself and all of that. But she will not. When he asks these questions, she will divert and go into selling her dating app and giving all of her dating one-on-one advice and how it's always what the women can't do and this and that. She's down to educate you. Yo, she is good. She thinks she good. She is good with finding a way to get around these questions. Okay. She is not playing, y'all. She is not playing at all. When I tell you, okay? Crazy.
Challenges because they don't know how to date. Girlfriend, if a guy wants to take you out for pizza, go out for pizza. Learn them. Dating is data. You're collecting data because you might think you want something on paper, but when you get it, because I've had a lot of things that I wanted on paper and then I got it and I was like, oh, I'm not about this life. Like you said, men like Paul come with a lot. I'm here to tell you, I'm not about that life. Yeah. I'm not about that life. So now I'm dating. Marriage is not important to me. But I'm dating, I think
my thing is too.
Okay. So y'all heard her.